So, continuing on the DPDP Act for various industries, we are going to talk about SaaS applications today. SaaS applications and IT, they intermingle a lot between being a processor, being an enabler, or being a fiduciary. So let's talk about it. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you regularly see new content on data privacy. And as I said, we'll talk about the DPDP Act for SaaS applications. Where do they act as fiduciaries and where do they act as processors? So the core confusion is between IT and SaaS. IT primarily enables systems, right? IT is not a fiduciary because IT is not designing processing. Processing is being designed by the business owners and they are telling the IT how to use that data that they receive. SaaS platforms, on the other side, they design the workflows and therefore the SaaS platform or the software application part of it becomes the fiduciary in a way. DVDB applies to who is deciding the purpose, and the purpose here is being decided by the business owner. Just touching the data from IT point of view does not make them a fiduciary as such. They remain as a processor only. Liability is from the decision making point, not from the processing point. So typically an internal IT handles infrastructure, access to the systems, authentication, even the logs. So they play a role in overall compliance, right? They act as strictly under the directions provided by the business. They rarely interact with data principles. Key takeaway, IT is therefore not a fiduciary and IT remains or ends up only to be a processor. SaaS platforms, they control onboarding fields, they control the mandatory inputs, they do the feature defaults and workflows for the organization. They define the analytics, the dashboards, the telemetry, the retention timelines, the data visibility, exports, reports, everything. And SaaS platforms does capture personal information. Right? So capturing personal information, digital format, and designing the entire digital format for it makes those SaaS platforms act as fiduciaries. So SaaS decides how the data is being processed. So processor versus fiduciary comes up in SaaS. Fiduciary is for platform's own users and processor is for the customer's data because then it is only processing the data. Fiduciary because they provide analytics and telemetry. Same product has multiple roles. And the role is depending on the data set and not on the company. And that's where the SaaS provider does both the roles. IT part of it does the processor role. And it becomes fiduciary when product analytics are to be applied beyond the basic core service. Usage tracking and profiling is being done. Scoring, ranking, recommendations are being put in. Artificial intelligence and machine level learning is doing some training there. Retention is kept beyond the customer's expectation. That's where the SaaS application also plays its role as a data fiduciary. The distinction is important because the liability comes to fiduciary. The questions, the audits, everything, the consents, the notice requirements, they are all of the fiduciary and not of the processor. The overall contract is therefore designed accordingly and the breach accountability is set accordingly for the fiduciary. It all builds or breaks the customer's trust also. As a summary, in the nutshell, IT is an enabler, SaaS is the decider, DPDP follows the purpose provided by fiduciary. Just a platform is not a protection. SaaS roles shift per database. Right? SaaS roles shift per database, and product design is equal to a compliance decision. So, therefore, the SaaS role acts more as a fiduciary. They are designing the product, they are making the product, they are storing the personal data, they are processing the personal data. So, they act as the fiduciary. We'll talk more about IT and SaaS, AI, etc. in the coming videos when we are talking about the industries and DPDP Act accordingly. So stay tuned with my channel, subscribe, share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.